Parents say it hooked their kids like a slot machine. Silicon Valley says it's just a phone app. Now, for the first time, a jury is being asked to decide whether scrolling is dangerous. And this landmark Los Angeles courtroom showdown could be redefined how the big tech, what kind of liability they could face here for this social media. Joining us now is the founder of Mothers Against Media Addiction, Julia Shelfo, also founding partner at the cyber law firm Star Kashman. Great to have you both here. Julia, the head of Instagram, just testified under oath this past week, accused by families of designing features that trap children online and worsen their depression and also potentially lead to suicide risk. Meta researchers also revealed that these apps have casino-like engagement design. The U.S. Surgeon General says that 3+ hours daily of social media use associated with higher risk of depression and anxiety. Walk me through this case. Is this something that the social media companies are going to be able to defend?
Big tech outright lies to us parents about the harm that they cause. They attack us, they shift the blame, and they've been resisting accountability for 2 decades now. And they do it in the face of families who have lost children to their products, and in the face of the millions of the rest of us whose children's lives have just been inextricably altered. So for decades, they're telling parents that this problem is our fault, even when their own research, which has now become public as a result of this trial, shows that the damage is by design. During Adam Mosseri's testimony last week, he said that children spending 16 hours a day on his platform wasn't addiction. 16 hours a day is 2/3 of someone's entire life. So I don't know how he could say that and keep a straight face.
Star, these families, they're not suing over the posts on social media, bullying or any speech. It's important to point that out. That they are arguing, though, that the platforms themselves are deflective product. Why is that legally important?
This is legally vital because, as mentioned earlier, these tech platforms have been attempting to escape liability for the devastating harms that they've really caused to these families and to these children, some of whom have lost their lives to these platforms and their addictive nature. This is transformative because these tech companies typically tend to get away with it in the past when it comes to the legal issues that come up with these big tech companies and attempting to hold them liable. Section 230 is a big issue where they say we are not liable because this is third-party content. This is third-party posts that are harmful to these children, instead of admitting that it is their own platforms, how they're programmed, their addictive designs, and how that plays a role in the devastating harm against children that's really caused in these cases.
Yeah, interesting point. Julia, during the congressional proceedings, a former Meta researcher claimed that internal data showed hundreds of thousands of minors received sexual messages daily. We know that Mark Zuckerberg will also testify in this case. What are you expecting from that?
You know, these companies have for years now been prioritizing profit at the expense of everything else. And that means that they are sending any kind of content that is likely to keep people engaged, even when it's harmful. So if you go to Meta's own website, they acknowledge that in 2024, they took action on over 48 million separate pieces of suicide, self-harm, and eating disorder content. So they are knowingly designing a platform that sends this stuff at scale to our children. And you have to remember that 4 years ago, the American Academy of Pediatrics declared that we are in a national state of emergency for child and adolescent mental health. So I am sick and tired of these executives pretending like this isn't something that they caused. And if Mark Zuckerberg takes the stand, although I'm waiting to see if he will do it. I expect him to do more of the same as his colleague Adam Mosseri, and just keep claiming that addiction isn't what all of us can obviously see that it is.
Real quick, Star, I'm running out of time, but I just want to get your thoughts on what potentially the damages or changes could come from this. Let's say the jury does actually rule force, money, age verification, algorithm changes. What are you expecting will come from this if, in fact, these families win?
So they could rule, of course, typically monetary damages are 100% something that's most likely to come out of this, but no amount of money damages can give a family their child back and really heal the harm that is caused here. Yes, they can also try to implement safe measures into these platforms, but something that we're seeing additionally, further in this case, in whistleblower claims, in evidence that's coming forth to the public, is that sometimes these platforms will implement safeguards more to a PR intent to try to look good to the public, whereas employees and whistleblowers who have left the company as a result say that these measures don't even end up working.
We shall see. I mean, Mark Zuckerberg, he's certainly going to be in the hot seat. All eyes will be watching that to see what he has to say. And obviously, he'll have to respond to all of the accusations and all the data that's come out as well. We got to leave it there. Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
John, I just want to add, at Mothers Against Media Addiction, what we want to see come out of this trial is that there are federal safeguards in place, like the Kids Online Safety Act.
Appreciate that. Getting that in.